Peggy 18.
One of the other big additions to the game, building settlements. That was really, really cool. That was a big surprise to a lot of people. Let's take a little look at settlements in action.
So we actually call this the workshop system. So this is building in your original neighborhood. We have a bunch of sites. And so, I think some of these videos, the fans are in as well need to pause and look what's on the screen, but you rip apart the world and then you can build what you want. The inspirations here I think are pretty clear, things like Minecraft and other things we like, and it's a really great fit for Fallout. We wanted to get in is there a way that, like, within the game we can take this, like, modding idea or, tools we've had in the past and do something in-game that the players can make their own without having to leave the game and do it in the creation kit or things like that? And it does fit into part of the fiction of part of the game. But it is optional. I love this. I got to name drop Ryan Sears. He's one of our artists, built that. It's really great. He showed that to me. I was like, oh, I am putting that in a video. That's awesome.
You also announced UGC, user-generated content in the game. Some people might have missed that. Can you talk to us a little bit about what we're doing with UGC and when it's going to be available?
Yeah, so we're doing it on the PC similar to Skyrim. We'll have the creation kit that will come out, not at launch, just like Skyrim, it'll come out early 2016. And then, you'll have all the PC mods and all of that stuff. But then what's really exciting is we're finally bringing it to console. So working with Microsoft. So once we get it out on the PC with the creation kit, it's then going to come to Xbox One.
Okay.
There's a lot of, like, back-end stuff we need to do and work with them. And then once that's settled, our plan is to do that work with Sony and get them on board and have that follow up. But the timetable's kind of fuzzy right now.
Are you excited?
On that, so I don't want to promise a date on that part. But what'd you say? Am I excited?
Are you excited?
Oh my God,
consoles?
yes.
Yeah.
Look, I think the modding part of our games is just, it goes back to, like, making your own adventures with D&D and those kind of things.
Sure.
And we've always pushed on it really hard. But if at the end of the day, the audience that can do that stuff or is even doing it is not as big as people think, percentage-wise, and it's just been on PC. So the first way to make that, a much larger percentage of the audience is to bring it to console, where a lot of our players are.
Another thing you're doing that offers, again, this great player freedom that you guys really love at Bethesda Game Studios, the advanced crafting, or the crafting system, which might be, as you said, the most advanced crafting system yet for a Fallout game, for a Bethesda
Easily.
game.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a look at the crafting system in action. Todd, tell us, how does the crafting work, and why is it the most advanced crafting system you've ever offered the players?
The main gist of it is that we have all this junk around the world. So it sort of started like, if you looked at alchemy in Skyrim, but imagine that was on everything. And so that stuff in the beginning of the game that you would just think is crap and laying around, you would then realize, like, oh, I need the baby bottle because it has X. And so it was a look at having components, so having a set number of components in the world, and then having lots and lots of items that were different mixes and matches of those components, and then you realize that, like, adhesive is an important element for building a lot of things. Then you realize actually duct tape and glue tend to be more valuable than, like, grenades, like, for real, in the game. And so just by system, we tend to work and want to systemize things for a big world.
Right.
And the fact that the stuff breaks down to components, we then have the ability to add, if we put this, like a water bottle and the chairs and this and a television, and then we figure out what components it would have, and we're able to balance that on a massive scale instead of if the crafting system required specific items. to craft, if that makes sense.
So it does, and in essence, what you've done is ensure that almost every, or at least what I think, ensure that almost everything has a purpose in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that correct?
Yes, and not everything has components. That's the better way of
Right.
saying
Okay.
it. Yeah.
But you won't be collecting junk and then it remains junk.
Right. You don't
There
have
will always
anything
be
that
some
just
sort of
has like
value.
my only existence is I am worth 2 caps.
Right.
We have nothing like that. So it also causes this very interesting economy in the game where traditionally you would pick everything up and then just sell it.
Mhm.
And now you pick it up and you say, well, I can make this out of this, or I can make this out of this, or maybe I do want to sell it. And so we usually, at this point of the project, we're trying to balance the economy and get rid of, all these money exploits. And it's at this point of the project, we have actually have very few, because most of the people on the team playing the game are hoarding all the crap to build with instead of selling it.